Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody, and today is May 7th, 2026, and you are watching a live stream. So thank you to all the people in the live stream chat and to all those who'll be watching on a replay. I appreciate you being here. Leave me a thumbs up in the live stream chat if the volume is working. Thank you, Coffee Girl. You're already on top of that. Appreciate you as always. And hello to Full Armor. Hello to Sojourn. Hope you guys are great. Let's see if we can get a good turnout tonight. My last few videos haven't done very well, but we're gonna try to get this video out here because people need to see this. And again, I hoped that I'd never have to talk about another pandemic again, but I don't know, guys. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, this is not what it seems to be, but we will see what happens from this. I'm not going to say this is going to turn into something like the COVID, but we certainly need to talk about this. And we certainly need to talk about Ted Turner and his death and how Ted Turner dying on the day of this ship being in the news with the Hantavirus, how it's very ominous in a lot of different ways. So that's what we're going to get into in today's video. And make sure you guys hit the likes if you guys enjoy the content as usual. And we're going to wait another minute or two before we start, but then we'll get into the stream. Let me just take myself off. Yeah, I saw Full Armor was posting something about the X-Files and Hantavirus. I'll have to look more into that. I was kind of thinking about if there was any shows or TV shows that had Hantavirus, and I guess we'll have to look into this X-Files show or X-Cops, or is it? I thought it was the X-Files, but maybe it's X-Cops. I'm not even familiar with that. Or is that the name of the episode? Because I'm assuming the show is X-Files, but Martin Anstey Hantavirus? Who's that? Is that somebody's name? Is there somebody named that? Let me just look that up. That would be crazy if there's somebody named that. Let me just, before I even get into my slides, let me just see if that comes up. I'm not sure what that is that you posted, but oh, Martin Anstey is one of the people who passed. Oh, he was 56. No way. Are you kidding me? The guy was 56 years old. I mean, what a joke is this, guys? I mean, the whole COVID was about the number 56. And as you're going to see in my decode, I'm going to talk about 56. And here's a 56-year-old. I mean, from the Netherlands. And of course, the guy that this ship is named after is also from the Netherlands. So we have a huge Dutch thing going on. In fact, we've had a Dutch theme all year, starting with James Van Der Beek's death. If you guys remember, I talked about the Dutch back then. But yeah, we have a 56-year-old. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just ridiculous, this 56 stuff, man. I mean, one of the biggest numbers with the pandemics. Of course, you know, Corona, you know, that equals 56. You had the toilet paper stuff during the pandemic. That equals 56, like mind control. Of course, you guys know most of these, but again, what are the odds that 56-year-old is in the news for this? Just more proof that this is all being done by a code. But yeah, I will look more into this guy. He's still alive apparently, but we will look more into him at the end. He's got some Freemasonry numbers. But let's get into my slides. Hopefully we get some more people in here. I don't know what's going on with the turnout lately, but I was getting like 5,000 views a video, and then all of a sudden it just dropped over the last week. So I don't know if you guys have noticed anything with the notifications, but something's going on with the YouTube, I think, which is weird. But anyway, besides that, thank you for the people who are here, who did get a notification. We're going to look at this and put the pieces together as best as we can and try to see through all the noise. And hopefully this doesn't turn into something more like the last time. But guys, first of all, what was my last video about actually? And I didn't know this Hantavirus thing was going to happen. Do you guys remember what my last video was about? Let me just go to my YouTube channel. And like, again, I had no idea. I even mentioned in the video 9 days ago. Look, 9 days ago. That was my last live stream, I guess, my last big live stream. What was that? You know, what was this stream about? I haven't talked about a virus on this channel in years, really. And my last video just happened to be about COVID. And I told you how King Charles meeting with Donald Trump on the 30th of April was pointing to the COVID. And then just days later, on King Charles' anniversary, think about it, guys. I did this video 9 days ago about King Charles and the C-19, the Crown 19, and then just days later, on the anniversary of King Charles' coronation, we have this news story of this ship and the death of Ted Turner. It just shows you that this stuff is, when you're following the code, it can lead you on the right path. I mean, you're not gonna. It's very hard to make exact correct predictions, but again, my last video was about a virus. So I even mentioned in the video, I hope that doesn't mean we're going to get another virus. And I didn't really expect it to happen this fast, right? I didn't expect the story because at that time, I wasn't even aware of the Hantavirus in the ship. But anyway, let's get into it. You guys have heard, most of you guys know the news. The Hantavirus is on the H or M, what's it called? The MV Hantius. And we had the death of Ted Turner, and that's going to connect to the Georgia Guidestones, the depopulation agendas. It's also going to connect to nuclear agendas. And again, we don't really believe in huge nuclear bombs necessarily. I don't know, but either way, there's a huge nuclear theme here. And we're also going to talk about Gene Hackman, who died of Hantavirus last year. So isn't that interesting? We just had a famous celebrity die of Hantavirus just last year. Yeah, and Ted Turner is connected to wrestling, of course. That's one of my main topics on this channel. Yes, nukes are propaganda just like viruses. So, yeah, propaganda. Perfect, right? What's not propaganda at this point? But let's dive into it. Let's just first look at Ted Turner and his connection to the Georgia Guidestones. Now, remember, on the Georgia Guidestones, it says, maintain humanity under 500,000 or 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Okay, depopulation, keeping the population low, right? Bill Gates also talked about it. Probably shouldn't say his name too much on this stream, but March 22nd, 1980 was the day the Georgia Guidestones opened. Guys, CNN was founded by Ted Turner in 1980, 71 days after the Georgia Guidestones were put up. Now, when the COVID was declared, it was declared on the 71st day of the year, and COVID pandemic equals 71. Now, Ted Turner also had a quote, a total population of 250 or 30 million people, a 95% decline. It's just crazy he's using 95 here because 95. What was I just going to say about 95? I was just thinking about 95 and now it lost me. But it's interesting that he's talking about a 95% decline, but we'll get back to the 95 probably later. But for now, let's just focus on the 71 and the connection between the Georgia Guidestones and Ted Turner, who died yesterday as this virus outbreak is happening. The 71 days, right, from the Georgia Guidestones, COVID pandemic, 71, right? And so I'm using this slide first because I want you guys to see how the Georgia Guidestones are clearly connected to Ted Turner and the population agenda, right? But his number is even lower than the Guidestones. The Guidestones says 500 million, and he was saying 250 to 300 million. So he's even more radical, Ted Turner. So. And let's not overlook the fact his initials are TT, Ted Turner. Well, what happened in 2020? T is the 20th letter. 2020. In 2020, on the 71st day of the year, we had COVID. And again, he founded the Georgia Guidestones 71 days before he founded CNN. And don't forget, CNN is also close to Atlanta, where the Georgia Guidestones are. So the TT initials seem to go perfectly with the 2020 COVID. Okay. But look at this. The same day, I mean, this is just undeniable, really. The same day that the MV Hantavirus is in the news with this virus, Ted Turner dies. Look at the gematria match of Ted Turner and MV Hantavirus. I mean, just look at it. Can anyone even question this? Also, Georgia equals 44. Just talked about how this is about Georgia being the Georgia Guidestones. But Ted Turner equals 125, 44, and 118 like MV Hantavirus. I mean, just undeniable. Now, Ted Turner, his name is Robert Turner, Edward Turner the third. But if you just type his name as Robert Turner the third, it equals 201. I do have to give a shout out to Gematria Effect News, Zach Hubbard. I got some of this stuff from his stream because he made some great points about Ted Turner that I didn't even know about. He also pointed out that the ship is named after Jodocus Hondius. And just look at the guy who the ship's named after, guys, 201. And what was the whole COVID pandemic all about? It was really all about the 201. I mean, guys, here we are 6 years later after the COVID, and we're still getting hit with the same numbers that was with the last pandemic. It's ridiculous. I mean, the ship is named after a guy whose name equals 201, and then Ted Turner's name. A comment's blocking the screen. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. My bad. There we go. So maybe you guys missed the whole other part of the screen on my last slide, but let me show you that again so you guys can see that. But thank you for letting me know about that comment. Yeah, the old rinse and repeat playbook. Yeah, perfect way to put it, Nicole. Just rinse and repeat. If it's working, you might as well keep going for it because I guess enough people haven't woken up to this. And guys, 6 years ago, when we were in the midst of COVID, you would have thought that when I was doing my channel even back then, and when I was watching Zach even back then, you would think that they wouldn't even be able to do this to us anymore. But yet they can still just do this. And I'm not saying there's not an organic side to all this too, and that God's not in control, but there is people putting these numbers, and you can't tell me that the name of the ship is not named after Jodocus Hondius because his name equals 201 when we know the importance of that number. But also, look at this. From the day of event. Now, do you guys remember the global exercise event 201 right before the COVID? Look at this. 6 years and 201 days later, Ted Turner dies. And the Hantavirus is in the news. I mean, 201 days, guys, after the anniversary. I just told you the ship's named after a guy with the numbers 201. Ted Turner's name equals 201 if you write it like that. 201 days after event 201 anniversary. It's just ridiculous. And look at this. On May 6, 201 days after the anniversary, the president of the Canary Islands, Fernando Clavio Batil, said he cannot allow Hondias to enter the Canaries. So on this May 6th day, the president who denied access to the Canary Islands, his name equals 201. Are you kidding me? Fernando Clavio Batil, 201. This slide right here, actually, I don't even think I need to say anymore. I could probably just stop the stream right here because look at this. Based off of this slide and this slide, I think you already get the point. So, I mean, we have a lot more to talk about, but this is really the point of the decode. I mean, right here. And again, shout out to Zach Hubbard. He was the one that's showed this years ago, showed the 201s for years. This is obviously the number that they do this by, and it's undeniable. I mean, they even named the event 201. I mean, you can't really get any more in your face than that. So let's keep going, but we're going to talk more about the 201. Because I already started the stream by showing the connection that Ted Turner has with the Georgia Guidestones. What are the odds that Ted Turner died 200 weeks exactly after the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed, and Georgia Guidestones equals 200? Now, 200 is one off from 201. But that means Ted Turner died at the start of the 201st week since the Georgia Guidestones fell. I mean, another 201, guys, because when you complete 200 weeks, you're starting your 201st week. So that means we are currently in the 201st week since the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed. And again, Ted Turner, Robert Turner III equals 201. But look at this. If you write out his full name, guys, Robert Edward Turner III, it equals 256 and 311. His name equals 311, guys. When was the COVID pandemic? It was on 311. Now, what if I told you that 201, the number 201, is 311 in base 8 counting? So Robert Edward Turner III equals 311, and 201 is 311 in base 8. But on top of that, his name equals 256. And 256 is the 201st composite number. Do you guys understand how improbable that is? If you write his name like this, it equals 201. If you write his full name, it equals 256 and 311. And both these two numbers connect mathematically to the number 201. I mean, it's undeniable. But on top of that, Hantavirus equals 1229. And 1229 is the 201st prime number. Also, this is a respiratory illness. Respiratory illness equals 1229, the 201st prime number. The word breathe equals 201. When you have a respiratory illness, you can't breathe. Breathe equals 201. Okay? Now, during the COVID, we had the story of George Perry Floyd. And George Perry Floyd could not breathe. And his name equals 201. You guys get, I mean, what is there not to see here? George Perry Floyd had the knee on his neck and he could not breathe, right? Breathe equals 201. George Perry Floyd equals 201. That was during the COV pandemic. And again, Hantavirus equals 1229, the 201st prime. That's all you need to know. Yeah, I'm definitely not trying to break fear. This channel and this stream is not about fear at all. This is about cutting through the crap and just showing you what's really going on. There's no fear here. I'm not afraid of this, and no one should be afraid of this. My last stream was about breathing. I did a stream about spirit, and in Latin, spiritus means breathe, breath. In that video, I talked about breath and breathing, and then now this happens, you know. But I haven't seen anyone else talk about this, but breathe does equal 201. I think that's a big part of it. Now remember, so we've gone through all the 201s. We're going to keep trying to hit the 201s, but the point is, I think we've nailed the 201s. But remember, we had a pope die last year, the first Jesuit pope. Now, what does his name equal? Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 201. Okay, first Jesuit pope, the Jesuit order, 201. William Henry, who did the the 201 event, 201. Order of Illuminati, 201. Robert Turner III, 201. The guy who denied the ship access yesterday, 201. George Perry Floyd, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the first Jesuit pope. Now, where was the first Jesuit pope from? He was from Argentina. Where did the MV Hondius take off from? Oh, it took off from Argentina, the same place where the Pope was from, who just died. Now, did Pope Francis have a respiratory issue? I'm just searching it. Last year, March 2025, Pope Francis suffered a severe respiratory issue. Again, the word breathe equals 201. You can't breathe when you have a respiratory issue. He was hospitalized, and then later he would end up dying on Rome's birthday from complications of all that. So again, he couldn't breathe, and that equals 201. But remember, the Hondius took off from Argentina on April 1st. And what are the odds that the ship left from the southernmost city in the entire world, guys? Talk about angel of the bottomless pit. Do you guys get the symbolism here? I've been talking a lot about the angel of the bottomless pit. And this Argentina ship left from the bottom of the world, which was Pope Francis's country. And the last person to ever meet with Pope Francis was J.D. Vance. Now, J.D. Vance is a rat in astrology, and Pope Francis is a rat. Now, Hantavirus supposedly is primarily carried by rats. I mean, wow. Is that a coincidence that both of these guys were rats? And now it's the rats causing this, supposedly? But that was 11 months and 12 days after their meeting. And that's the birthday of the Society of Jesus General. Arturo Sosa's birthday is 11/12. From that meeting to the ship leaving Argentina, 11/12. 11 months and 12 days. The birthday of the Jesuit. Also, it's 346 days from then to the ship leaving. That's the gematria of the WHO. 346. I mean, what in the world, guys? I mean, this is just ridiculous. But remember, in my last video before this video, which I already pointed out at the beginning, it was about King Charles. And I was talking a lot about the threes. And what do you know? Look at how perfect this is, guys. This slide might be the most perfect. King Charles III was coronated on May 6, 2023. That pretty much ended the COVID. His coronation, corona, ended the corona, okay? The crown. But if I would have thought more about this, I probably could have said that May 6, 2026 would be the perfect day to do something like what they did. Are you coding me? Robert Edward Turner is a third. He's the third, like King Charles III. Exactly 3 years after King Charles III is coronated, but look, he's the third, which equals 201. And again, respiratory illness, 1229, the 201st prime. Hantavirus, 1229, the 201st prime. But not only was it 3 years, King Charles III to Edward Turner III, 3 equals 56. Well, 56 is the date of this happening. It was the coronation date. It was the day that Turner died. And what is coronavirus equal? 56. Society of Jesus, 56. Royal family, 56. Coronation, 56. So from the coronation on 5/6, 3 years later, it's the death of Turner III, and 3 equals 56. I mean, is it getting more perfect than that? At the beginning of the stream, we showed how there's a 56-year-old who's sick from the Netherlands right now on the ship. And as Zach Hubbard also showed during the whole last, COVID, the 56 was one of the most important numbers. If there's a number that comes right after 201, it would be 56. So again, the third year since King Charles, I mean, it's so in your face that you really can't deny it unless you're just completely asleep. Oh, and I forgot, there's 3 suspected deaths and 3 suspected cases and 3 deaths. I mean, they had to go with the threes, right? They had to go 3 deaths. Is that going to be all, though? Hopefully. Hopefully they don't proliferate this and we have to do another lockdown. Hopefully that's the ritual and 3 is going to be it. But I don't know if that's what's going to happen. But 3 is for certain the amount of deaths that were being reported on the 3rd anniversary of King Charles' coronation. And remember, my whole last decode, let's just go back. Let me go back and show you what my decode was about a week ago. Just so we can refresh that this is certainly not something new I've talked about. Remember how I showed that King Charles was coronated 1151 days after the coronavirus, which equals 190, and King Charles equals 190. 190 is a 19 with a 0, which is like a crown virus, okay? And yeah, I talked about how he was flying through the Devil's Triangle a few days ago after he left Trump, and that was 190 weeks. So all this happened 190 weeks after Queen Elizabeth died. And again, 190 is King Charles and Queen Elizabeth. 190 is 19 with a 0, which is a crown. Okay, shout out to Garo from Jurassic Liars for that 19 crown code. So that was what I talked about last week again, and now this is happening. Isn't it interesting? It was 6 days after the Church of Satan, when all this happened, like the 6s. Okay, but let's get back into today's decode. Enough reminiscing. But yeah, I mean, if there was a slide to share, I would say it would be this. Well, the 201 slides you could share. If anyone wants to share any slides, be my guest. I know a lot of people share my slides on Twitter, and I see that often. But if you guys want to share a slide, I would say this one is a very good one. I mean, what's the odds that 3 people are dead 3 years after the coronation, and both these guys are the third? But let's go back to the Georgia Guidestones, because we need to focus on them now. Please hit the like button. If you guys think, again, hitting the like button and watching the video and supporting me helps get this out so that we can make people aware, so that we don't have a repeat of 2020, please. Let's not have that. I'm not saying that this is going to do any good, but I'm just saying we got to do our best. But Ted Turner and his connection to the Georgia Guidestones was obvious, as I already showed. But if you go from the Georgia Guidestones being put up on 322, the Skull and Bones, it was 46 years and 46 days until Ted Turner died. Interesting, right? 46 years and 46 days. Virus equals 46. Sacrifice, 46. The name of the ship, MV Hondias, 46. Turner died of dementia, a type of dementia, which equals 46. Gene Hackman equals 46. Well, before I get to Gene Hackman, 322 days on the calendar is 46 weeks. Okay, so from 322, 1980, the Georgia Guidestones, to the death of Turner, 46 years and 46 days. So that means he died 46 days after 322. And again, 322 is 46 weeks. And virus equals 46. Chaos equals 46. Biden, watch out for Biden, guys. Even though we know Biden is being played probably by an actor anyway, are they going to take that actor off the world stage soon? Biden was the 46th president. And interestingly enough, Ted Turner's birthday is one day before Biden's. But let's go back to Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman equals 46. Gene Hackman died last year of Hantavirus. So Gene Hackman equals 46, like sacrifice. Now we have a guy dying on the same day as the Hantavirus stuff, and he died 46 years and 46 days after the Guidestones. But look at this. His full name, Eugene Allen Hackman, equals 441. And between the death of Hackman and the death of Turner is 441 days. What are the odds? Once again, I mean, this guy died of Hantavirus, supposedly, him and his wife. And then the gematria of his name is the exact amount of days between his death and the death of Turner and the Hantavirus stuff on May 6th. But not only does Eugene Allen Hackman equal 441, Sam Nunn equals 441. Now, who's Sam Nunn? Well, Sam Nunn is a very important partner to Ted Turner. What's the odds that Sam Nunn equals 441 in the same cipher? But Sam Nunn helped Ted Turner he founded the Nuclear Threat Initiative. So here we are again. We're going from the virus stuff. Now we're going to talk about nuclear codes. The Nuclear Threat Initiative. Ted Turner helped found a nuclear threat initiative. But are they nuking our DNA? Let's think about that for a second. Are these jibby jabs, whatever you want to call them, are these things nuking our DNA? When we get these things in our blood, in our bodies, is it just destroying our DNA? Gene Hackman? Think about that name for a minute. Gene Hackman. Hacking the genes. Hacking man's genes. I mean, it's in his name. Literally, his name is Hack Man's Gene. I don't know how much more obvious you can get than that. And he died of hantavirus. So now we got hantavirus possibly spreading. I mean, not a coincidence. But Sam Nunn founded the nuclear initiative with Ted Turner. And Sam Nunn equals Eugene Allen Hackman. And that's the amount of days between their deaths. Yeah, TNT. Ted Turner was he founded TNT. So that's a bomb, right? Okay, before we get to that, we need to talk about the nuclear stuff. So, as Zach Hubbard also pointed out, once again, thanks to him, Ted Turner was known for... Isn't it interesting he founded the nuclear initiative on Elvis's birthday? Remember Elvis? Shout out to Jurassic once again. Remember, Elvis was the first to get the jab on live TV on Bill Gates' birthday for the polio. So Elvis's birthday was the day 2001, guys. Elvis's 66th birthday, and twin equals 66. Once again, shout out to Jurassic. He's talked about that for years, but they founded this on Elvis's birthday. And so Ted Turner had something called the Doomsday. Let me just type in Ted Turner Doomsday. Look at this. Oh, now it's going to be annoying to me. Hold on. Let me try to get this to come up. I don't remember what it was called now, but Ted Turner Doomsday something. Oh, okay. So the Turner Doomsday video. Let's just see what Doomsday video equals, because... Oh my gosh, guys, Doomsday video equals Georgia Guidestones. Oh my goodness. It equals Hantavirus. What in the world? I did not check this. Look at that. Doomsday video equals Hantavirus. Again, Ted Turner, he's known for the Turner Doomsday video, is a legendary piece of media history commissioned by CNN founder Ted Turner before the network's 1980 launch. Turner famously vowed that CNN would remain on the air until the very end, stating that barring satellite problems, we won't be signing off until the world ends. Guys, this guy literally said he won't be signing off until the world ends. Is it a coincidence that Doomsday video equals Hantavirus and it equals Georgia Guidestones 200? And did we not just talk about this? Did we not just talk about this in my slide prior? Let me go back. Here's my 200s. I didn't even know that Doomsday video equaled 200. He died 200 weeks after the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed. And now his Doomsday video equals 200. So again, he said, we will not be going off the air until the world ends. That's what he said. And he's also the guy that founded the nuclear initiative. Now, what's even crazier is Ted Turner owns Armistice Ranch. And guess what that's next to? I'm going to get into that in a minute. But let's talk about Trump, because Trump was the one who declared on March 11th, 2020. But look how synced this is with Trump, guys. First of all, Ted Turner equals 614. Well, what's 614? That's Trump's birthday. What are the odds that Ted Turner died after CNN was exactly 614 lunar orbits old? Guys, exactly 614 CNN to his death. But what if I told you not only was it exactly 614 lunar orbits to his death, Turner died 6 months and 14 days before his birthday? What? Guys, this is undeniable. Ted Turner equals 614. He died 6 months and 14 days before his birthday. Donald Trump's birthday is 6/14, 1946. Guess how old Ted Turner was when he died? He was 31946 days old. Guys, Trump's birth year is in the age that he was when Ted Turner died. Look, you see it? Ted Turner there's a 1946 in his age when he died. And he died 6 months and 14 days before his birthday. I mean, what? And remember, Trump is the one who did Operation Warp Speed. Trump was the one who's the president during the P words. Trump connects with Apollyon, the angel of the bottomless pit. The ship that the Hantavirus came from the bottom of the world, the pit of the world. Remember, Apollyon's numbers are the 146 code. And you guys remember my video about the 146 Apollyon code? Now, when they do a Hippocratic oath, who do they speak to? Who do they speak to? Apollo the physician is the primary healer deity in Greek mythology, invoked at the start of the Hippocratic oath to witness the ethical standards of medical practice. Apollo could cause plagues. Guys, Apollyon, the angel of the bottomless pit, Revelation 9:11. Now, what's the odds that this ship, the Hantavirus, took off on April 1st, April Fool's Day, the same day that they launched Artemis 2? Guys, literally, this ship that's now in the news of Hantavirus, it launched on April 1st, the same day as Artemis 2. Now, Artemis is the sister of Apollo. Apollo is the physician, the bringer of plagues, with his arrows. You guys get it? The arrows. His arrows could bring plagues, or it could ward off evil and bring healing. He is the father of Asclepius, the primary god of medicine. But yeah, the Hippocratic oath. I swear by Apollo the physician. Let's see what that equals. Hold on. Oh my. Whoa. Wow. Whoa. Look, guys, the beginning line of the Hippocratic oath equals Ted Turner's name and his broadcasting company. Look. What? So again, I was talking about Apollyon all last month, folks. That's what this is about. It's the angel of the bottomless pit. That's why the ship left the bottom pit of the world before it got its virus. Do you guys get what I mean? It brought the virus from the pits of the world and it brought it up to where it's at now. Again, if you read about the city where this ship came from, let me find it again. MV Hondius. It even says it right here. On April 1st, the ship left Argentina, the southernmost city in the world. Okay? Literally, the southernmost city. The pit of the world. I mean, That's the angel of the bottomless pit, guys. That's what that is. And remember, in my last decodes last month, I talked about the 146 code and Apollyon, right? Apollyon equals 641, right? That's Trump's birthday backwards. 146, right? Trump's birthday backwards. Okay? And remember, Ted Turner equals 614. That's your 146 Apollyon code. Remember, Obama's birth certificate. Remember, Obama equals Apollyon. Let me see if I can find Obama's birth certificate. Excuse me. Here's Obama's birth certificate. Apollyon equals 1461 in Greek and 641 in English, Latin. Barack Hussein Obama II equals 641 like Apollyon. Now look at Obama's birth certificate. The numbers at the top, 6110641. Guys, that's Apollyon's numbers right there on his birth certificate. I mean, is it getting any more obvious? So anytime you see these 146 or 641 or 1461, it's an Apollyon code. Or if you see the number 116, Ushiaya translates to end of the worlds. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, guys. I've looked into this city before. Oshaya comes from the Yang language Ush Bay or Cove. It means deep bay. Guys, deep bay, like the pits. You know, I believe this Ushiaya, however you say that, I believe it equals 46, which I already talked about 46. Like sacrifice, you know. Look at the 80 there, like Baphomet. Oh, it equals the MV Hondius. I mean, so wait, the MV Hondius left from the same, from this city, and but they equal the same? Yeah, I guess I missed that. Yeah, I missed that 46 there. Anyway, let's keep going. We're going to try to get through the rest of this. Okay, back to Trump and the 614s. Again, let's reiterate this. This is pretty undeniable. Ted Turner equals 614. CNN was exactly 614 moons old when Ted Turner died, and he died 6 months and 14 days before his birthday. Ted Turner died at 31946 days. That's Trump's birth year right inside 1946, 1946. Oh, I didn't even think about that. All the 46s probably goes back to the year 1946, which is the year George W. Bush was born, the year Bill Clinton was born, the year Donald Trump was born. Those three presidents all born in 46. But just talking about 46. But now let's go back to the nuclear thing, because the nuclear thing connects to the threes. Remember how I had a slide about all the threes, right? And I've been talking a lot about threes lately because we had the death of David Wilcock, who was all connected to the number 333, and Donald Trump was born 333 days after the Trinity test, and Trinity is 3 threes. Coronation was 3 years before Edward III died, after Charles III's coronation. So we gotta talk more about the Trinity now, the three. So MV Hondius, look at this. MV Hondius equals 118 in 2 ciphers, and a COVID pandemic equals 118. Ted Turner equals 118 in the same cipher. And look at this, Trinity test, 118. What are the odds that he died 118 days after he founded the Nuclear Threat Initiative? Guys, the Trinity test was a nuclear thing, right? Trinity test equals Ted Turner. He founded the Nuclear Threat Initiative, and then he died 118 days after that anniversary to go with the gematria that matches. But on top of that, look at this. Ted Turner's Armendaris Ranch is the southern North Mexican border by the White Sands Missile Range, which contains the Trinity test site. Guys, Ted Turner literally owns a ranch that borders the Trinity test site. So if you think he's not connected to the Trinity test, there's your proof. His Armendaris Ranch is on the border of the White Sands Missile Range, which contains the Trinity site. And again, his name equals Trinity test. Yeah, I mean, just wow. It's all perfect, really. I mean, I could even say it was 119 days after he founded this, and that's obviously another big number, 119, like 9/11. But get ready for this, guys. I think this week is going to be very interesting. Because between yesterday and May 13th, again, 7 days later on May 13th, I'm going to show you some alignments that are absolutely wild for May 13th. Get ready for this one. I'm not saying something's going to happen on May 13th with Hantavirus, but it would be a perfect day to do something with Hantavirus because it does line up with all the numbers. So May 13th. You guys ready? Look at how this lines up with everything. So we talked about the 201, we talked about the 322, and now we're going to talk about 911. Now look at this. From the Georgia Guidestones being destroyed to May 13th is 201 weeks. From 9/11 to May 13th is 9011 days. And from the declaration of the COVID pandemic to May 13th is 322 weeks. Wow. Look at that. And look at the day of the year. May 13th is the 133rd day of the year. Hantavirus equals 133. I mean, wow. That's one day before Israel's birthday. And don't forget, state of Israel equals 201. Forgot that one. What is it? State of Israel? Am I tripping? Yeah, state of Israel, 201. So again, that's the next day, May 14th, one day after May 13th. May 13th is the anniversary of the first Marian appearance of Fatima in 1907. Wow. Obama housekeeper turning up dead a few days ago. I didn't even catch that story. I'll look into that, Rebecca. But yeah, I mean, just look at these alignments. I don't know if this means anything is going to go down more with Hantavirus on this day, or just it doesn't have to be on this day even, guys. It could be this in that week. But this is 9011 days after 9, just that alone, 9011 days after 9/11. So yeah, I mean, just something to watch for. I also heard Zach talked about how he's also watching for August 20th, because August 20th is the day leaving 133 days in the year. But Hantavirus is 133, kind of like president equals 133. White House equals 133. Government equals 133. In fact, check out the gematria of government and Hantavirus. Let's just bring up these three. Government 133, 137, Hantavirus, 133, 137. 137 is the 33rd prime number. Back to your threes again. Yeah, I talked about the number 190 last week about the COVID. It's the 19 with the 0, which is like the crown. It's also the 19th triangular number, crown 19 virus. I mean, but how perfect is King Charles' coronation lined up with all this? Exactly 3 years after he's coronated as the third, you get Robert Turner the third to die. His name equals 201. Third equals 201. And I just think the really big one, guys, that we can't overlook here is just Hantavirus. Hantavirus equals the 201 prime, and so does respiratory illness. So just more proof that the 201 is all over this. All right, so now, what else did I forget to talk about? We're going to keep going here for a little while longer, and then we'll wrap it up. Thank you for hitting the likes. All those people who haven't hit the like or shared, if you guys want to share the video. I mean, I hope I did a decent job at laying out the undeniable odds of all of this. Again, just with this right here, every slide is pretty undeniable. This slide is certainly undeniable. I mean, when I saw this, that the president that denied the ship access to the Canary Islands, his name equaled 201, I was like, are you kidding me? And the guy, and again, Zach showed that the ship is named after a guy whose name equals 201. It was 201 days after event 201 anniversary. I mean, you can't get any more obvious than that. And then, more technical, you can be, you don't even have to talk about Robert Edward Turner III equaling 256, and 256 is the 201st composite, or 311 and 201 is the 311 in base 8. You could take that out of here, and you could still have a perfect decode. The word breathe equals 201. I can't breathe, George Floyd. Then the whole connection with J.D. Vance and the rat, I really think there's something more here with the rats, because I don't think it's a coincidence. I thought it was kind of strange when this happened, how J.D. Vance is born in the year of the rat, and Pope Francis also born in the year of the rat. And then the last person to see Pope Francis alive was J.D. Vance. And then that lines up perfectly with the span between the ship leaving Argentina. And it points us to the birthday of the Superior General. Yeah, let me go into the chat. I know you guys probably have some things to share that I missed. Let me just jump into the chat. Hold on. So, guys, please give me... Oh, yeah. J.D. Vance's wife is named Usha. Sounds a lot... I think it kind of has a similar sound as the city in Argentina. I think that's what you're getting at. Dying in the year of the snake. Yeah, that's interesting. Pope Francis was a rat. He died in the snake year. Snakes eat rats. Wow, that's a good one. I don't think I ever thought of that. That's a good one. Free Queen. Yeah, thank you for being here. God bless you. And yeah, praise God. Thanks that we are able to be here and just expose this stuff together. I mean, this isn't just about me. I just want to make sure that this is getting out and that we continue to do this even when things get tough. And hopefully this doesn't end up being something more. Let me keep hitting the comments, though. World War II with Tom Hanks. He is narrating and executive producing a 20-episode documentary series that premieres on History Channel on May 25th. Hanks had coronavirus. Yeah, he was the first. Yeah, he was filming the Elvis movie. Tom Hanks was filming the Elvis movie, and he had COVID. and he was talking about how he beat his wife in rummy with 200. He was losing to his wife in rummy with 201 or something like that. I know Joseph would remember that. Shout out to Joseph. I always miss having him around because he always would remind me of things that I often forget. 201 in the chat. Yeah, I see that. How about that? 201 in the chat. Guys, this is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. Gene Hackman died 449 days before 513. Trump's calm before the storm speech on October 5th, 2017 was 449 months before 513. 449. The 87th prime, and Ted Turner died at 80. Yeah, I found that right before the stream. Good one, Fading the Public. I had found this Ted Turner connection to the 87 before the stream with Gene Hackman. But that's a great connection about Trump's calm before the storm speech also being 449 months before 513. That's a great addition. The horse year is the year that clashes with the rat. Interesting. Cape Verde, a key location in the current cruise ship's journey, matches Believe and Ritual, 178. The Holy Spirit and biological weapon. Interesting. Yeah, May 25th is George Floyd's birthday. Yeah, that's a good point. May 25th, George Floyd's birthday. That's also Roman Reigns' birthday, who just won the title at WrestleMania 42. Mentioned 95 earlier. Baltimore equals 95. The Preakness Stakes is being run in an alternate racetrack due to renovations. There is a horse named Corona de Oro, Crown of Gold, that might run. Oh my gosh. No way. Is there really a horse named Corona de Oro? Man. Corona de Oro horse. Oh, look at when he's born. Corona de Oro was born on March 10th. That's one day before the... Whoops, hold on. Now I lost everything. Yeah, Corona de Oro, born one day before 311. Wait, 310, guys, 310. We just had that number come up. 310 is the gematria of I swear by Apollo the physician equals 310. Wow. Man, I'm gonna have to share this with Derek because Derek had just shared something with me right before the stream about 310, I think. Hold on, let me check my Discord. Still have 201 in the chat. Thank you to the 201 in the chat. Appreciate you. Let's see if we can get to 201 likes. So Derek, right now I'm behind the scenes and I'm looking at Derek because he shared something earlier. Yeah, wait till I share this with Derek, this 310. He's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see what his reaction. Let's see what this horse equals. Corona de Oro. Oh, look at that. These are the same numbers that came up last week with the Trump the Trump correspondence dinner shooting. These 123. Well, of course, Corona de Oro equals Catholic Pope and Catholic Mass. You see the 1, 2, 3s? Arturo Sosa, 1, 2, 3. Samuel Augustus Nunn Jr., that's the friend of Turner, 1, 2, 3. And the guy who denied access to the island, the Canary Island yesterday for the ship, 1, 2, 3. So, wow, interesting. This 1, 2, 3. Oh, Pope Francis. I think he's born like 123 days after before the Golden Gate Bridge opened, something like that. But anyway, I will look more into this horse. March 10th, 2023. When is the Preakness Stakes? Is the Preakness Stakes on... Does anyone know when that is? So I don't have to look it up right now. Does the Wizard of Oz... Does the Wizard of Oz wear a gold crown? Does he? I don't know. May 16th is the... Okay, that's interesting. Well, it's 192 prime days. So the horse will be 192 prime days old. Vatican City equals 192. Interesting. Skull and Bones. Yale Skull and Bones equals 192. This is a big Obama number as well, as Joseph has pointed out, 192. The 367 is interesting because that's the 73rd prime, and 73 is a huge crown number. Wow, interesting, because 36. So the horse will be, guys, this horse, Corona de Oro, will be 3 years and 67 days old. Corona means crown, and in gematria, crown equals 73. And again, 367 is the 73rd prime, crown. Now, I'm not saying that Corona de Oro, which means crown. Wait, what does that actually mean? It means crown of gold, right? Yeah, it means crown of gold or golden crown. Interesting. Well, we got some matching numbers there. 60, Corona de Oro equals 60, and Crown of Gold equals 60. Donald Trump, 60. It can also be referenced as Golden Crown. Golden Crown even has some interesting gematria, but is Apollo connected with this? Does Apollo have a connection to a golden crown? Golden crowns became a tribute demanded by Roman Empire. Corona de Oro equals San Francisco in the same cipher? Okay. Wow. Good catch. Watch out for San Francisco, maybe. Oh, this guy just died too, guys. This Dion Anderson. This guy's death was just announced yesterday. Dion Anderson. I noticed that. I didn't even talk about this song. Guys, this song was played on the Titanic, the RMS Titanic, and now we have a ship with a virus. This is the song that Ted Turner was going to play for the Doomsday video. I just wanted to add that in there because I forgot to talk about this. But what was I going to just do? Okay, we just had the death of Dion Anderson. His death was just announced, I think, the same day as Ted Turner died at 87. Look, this guy died at 87. Okay, so, but he died on April 26th, but his death was announced yesterday. And look, his name equals Corona de Oro, the name of the horse. And it equals San Francisco. And again, this is a cipher where it's very hard to get matches. And he was 87, and that's how old Ted Turner was. And he was in the Shawshank Redemption. And I think that equals Ted Turner. Oh, hold on. 256, I think. Look at that. So remember we talked about 614 and the connection with Trump and Ted Turner? Remember this slide? Ted Turner equals 614, Trump born on 614. If you type out the number 614, it equals 256. Shawshank Redemption, 256, like Robert Edward Turner III. This guy, Dion Anderson, was famous for starring in the Shawshank Redemption. He died, his death was announced the same day as Robert Edward Turner III, equals the same gematria. And remember, 256 is connected to 201 because 256 is the 201st composite number. So, I mean, wow, you see how it all goes right back around from this guy dying yesterday or being in the news? Well, he was in the X-Files. I didn't even catch that. Somebody just left something earlier about the X-Files. So this Dion Anderson, he just died and he was in the X-Files. And somebody said there's a Hantavirus in the X-Files. A few more things, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up. But I just want to see this. Primary X-Files episode associated with Hantavirus is called X-Cops, Season 7, Episode 12. When did that air? X-Cops. February 20th. X-Cops. X-Cops equals XRP. Interesting. But let's go February 20th, 2000. Let's just try going to the date of this. Interesting, it was 76 days after the anniversary. It was 26 years, 2 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days. You got your 222. That was a huge number with the COVID. Yeah, and the episode was on 222. And it was 26 years, 2 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days till yesterday. And remember, 222 is a number associated with event 201, 222. And again, Joseph Aquaviva, you guys know, most of you guys probably know his decoding channel. His whole thing was about 222. But remember, the COVID was declared exactly 222 months after 9/11. Okay, so there was the 222 is important here. And it seems that there might be, because you are right, The release date was 2/20/2000, 222. What's all the other 222s that I can't remember? Armageddon, right? 222. Conspiracy theories. Key to the Apocalypse, 222. The Beast of Revelation, 222. Antichrist System. The Antichrist Barack Obama. As above, so below. Wuhan coronavirus, 222. Donald John Trump Sr. Event 201. World Economic, you know what? Hidden Codes, 222. British Royal Family, 222. So yeah, shout out to Joseph, who always would never. Oh, the F, these things. I'm not going to say them, but you guys could read. This one, I mean. Hold on. I'm talking about this. So that's another 222. Do I have the comment box up again? Hold on. I always forget to take that down. But we're going to wrap it up anyway. 5 minutes and then we're going to be done. But is there anything else before 5 minutes? Make sure you guys get everything you want to get in before I hang this up. Now I got to take the comment down. But yeah, great additions. I'm going to have to look more into this X-Files episode and see what I can find to go with the... Let's just see from when the ship left. That's interesting. Oh, it was 322 lunar phases between that episode and when the ship left. Oh, how about that? When the ship took off from Argentina, it was 133 days before the eclipse. And don't forget how the importance the eclipses are with the COVID. Remember, the jab was approved on an eclipse on 12/14. In fact, let's look at that. If you go to the date 12/14/2020, and you just type in what happened (12/14/2020). On December 14, 2020, major global events included an official confirmation of Joe Biden's U.S. presidential election, the start of the first COVID-19 Bs, and an eclipse, right? So this date right here was an eclipse, the start of the COVID-19 V words, and it was Joe Biden's, the 46th president, his confirmation, all on the same day on an eclipse. So what happens if you go from that date to the day after they left Argentina? It was 1936 days from that eclipse over Argentina to the day that after the ship left Argentina. Now, who was born in 1936? The Pope, who was from Argentina, Pope 201, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. And a corona, corona has to do with the eclipse. Yeah, that's right. So it's the ring around the eclipse. So what are the odds? The ship leaves basically 1936 days after that eclipse over Argentina, and that's where the ship left from. I'm talking about the Hondias, the ship that has the virus. I noticed that's also 22 Mercury years. So, but anyway, let's wrap it up. I think I hit all my main points, and I think this is definitely a video that will at least cut through some of the crap and hopefully expose some stuff for people. Hopefully we can hopefully we don't get another, pandemic. But either way, no fear. Let's just get through this and hope that this is just a one-off thing. But I have a feeling even if this is not one, eventually they will be another one. But let's not get too negative about it. Let's just try to stay positive here in this community and just keep doing what we've been doing. But I appreciate you guys being here for the whole stream and watching. And as always, all you guys do for the channel, support, everything. With that being said, make sure you guys hit the like on the way out, and also buy me a coffee link up top as well in case you want to support that. Also, make sure you guys go support all the other channels. I want to give a shout out to Ball Don't Lie real fast before we hand up, because his channel's also been seeing a decline. And I just wanted you guys to remind, every week we have Eye to Eye podcast where me, AJ, and Rambo talk about usually it's current events. But don't forget to check out the Eye to Eye podcast, guys, every week, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Ball Don't Lie. So make sure you guys go over and subscribe, show him some love. Also, The Illusion, another great channel. And he's still stuck on 14.6K. He's been on that for a while. So let's get him up a bit. And remember, I talked about Joseph Aquaviva. I know he doesn't do videos anymore, but another great channel. Even his older videos are great videos. So, and let's not forget Jurassic Liars, Elvis Seattle, the upcoming June 11th, all that stuff. And who else? Another great channel, Brother Dana. This guy right here. Widow's Son. He doesn't do videos recently, but definitely another great channel to make sure you guys go check him out. And let's not forget Gematrinator, even though they don't have him on my subscribers anymore. I don't know why. Also, Gematria Book. I want to give him a shout out because Gematria Book did this Trump. You guys got to go watch his Hellboy video. This is another great video to watch. I mean, Trump and the Hellboy connection. So that's his most recent video 4 days ago. But yeah, with that being said, let's wrap this up. Make sure you guys go show some love to all the other decoders, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Take care.